Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining another episode of the Educational Leadership Podcast. We have another very special guest. Before we introduce our guest, we do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Ideal Impact. Ideal Impact's giving away hundreds of millions of dollars to public education in the form of a free gift, unrestricted funds. So if your district needs additional funding for higher teacher salaries or whatever they may need, reach out to Ideal Impact. Okay, today we have another very special guest, another doctor on the podcast. Always cool to have doctors, right? We have Dr. Warnock from Terrell ISD. Dr. Warnock, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Gary. I am thrilled to be here. Um, I want to, I don't, can I say it's Terrell?
Terrell.
So
Okay,
Terrell.
sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I don't know if you want to start the intro or you can edit that or
Yeah, it's fine. We'll keep rolling.
okay. Okay,
It's
great.
all good. I'm from Houston,
Okay.
so I
Okay,
pronounce
perfect.
everything wrong.
No. I'm from that area too. Grew up in Prince.
You just talk better than me.
Um, no, yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Just a proud superintendent here in Terrell, Texas. We're about 30 miles east of Dallas. We are a mid-sized district in Texas, but probably considered small. If you look at districts in some other places, we're about 5,300 students, but we're considered what's called a fast growth district. We expect that our population will double in size in the next 10 years or so. Um, I am a lifelong educator. I was the kid at the nursery school, like I'll be the teacher and everyone else can be the students here at the nursery school. Um, Spent about 20 years as a classroom teacher, high school principal, and some central office leadership in a district just north of Dallas, and then came to Terrell right before the pandemic, just a couple of months before March, so January of 2020. So that was an interesting experience, but I've been here in Terrell since then.
Nice. Yeah, I bet it was an interesting experience, right?
Very.
I've we've talked to a couple people that were came on board at a district right around the pandemic, and wow, it just kind of threw everybody for a loop. Um, well, awesome. So, what are you passionate about in public education these days? It seems like every district you talk to, amazing districts, everybody's different though, right? And that's part of this podcast is people think, well, not many people, but some people think if they, depending on where they get their information, they think public education, it's all the same, right? And it's not. I literally, if people listen to our podcast, they'll find every district is so different. But would love to hear about what you're passionate about currently in your life related to public ed.
Yeah, I'm passionate first and foremost just about the students that we serve and really about how we engage in different partnerships to better serve the kids in our community. We have a lot of students in our community that come from homes with limited resources, and we're a very diverse community, diverse socioeconomically. We have a lot of racial diversity, language diversity, diversity of belief and thought. So it's a really exciting place to be. It's a truly a small town experience in our community. People know your name. It's a really friendly place to be. And so I feel really passionate about making sure that our kids have access and opportunity to like the world. I mean, to whatever they want to do, what they want to see. We're have done a lot of partnerships and grant writing to what we call the blue sky experience. Like if we could dream a big dream for our kids that they're getting to go see plays. We're bringing etiquette expert to teach, like, this is what kind of a table setting looks like, and this is how we shake hands. These are important soft skills for the workplace. And then going to have a fine dining experience. When I have a kid who I brought in Chick-fil-A for a superintendent roundtable with kids, and he says, "Oh, Chick-fil-A, that is so fancy. My parents went there for their anniversary dinner." And, so like that's context. And I want that child to have an experience and fine dining with the skills to know how to navigate that. Those are things that not every kid gets in just their context of life. So kind of that blue sky piece, what kind of travel opportunities, exposure to things that we can provide to kids through partnerships, and really building like joy-filled classrooms. Like learning should be fun, and it should be fun to get to teach. It should be fun to uh, make a difference in the lives of children. Walt Disney said that, laughter and learning are not enemies. And I think that the more we can bring laughter and joy into a space, the better it is for the educator. And when it's good for the educator, it's great for the kids that they're serving. So I think like those are some things I'm particularly passionate about right now, how we like marshal resources, pull in community. I I know you have other questions asked, but I'm so excited about some of the things that we're doing. Last year we launched, we called it Boys to Men, and we had every sixth grader in our
I'm sorry,
community.
Dr. Warnock. My three-year-old wandered into my office
Oh,
and okay, Claire,
yeah.
Claire, all right, go close my office door.
That's great.
Sorry. She, she came over and she was starting to
We
make a
had
little
to see
noise.
you. I think it's perfect. That's what, hey, we're a kid business. We should celebrate every time we see a kid coming. Uh,
Sorry,
yeah.
keep going.
No, we launched last year. We call it Boys to Men, and so we put out a call to men in our community to come sit side by side with every sixth grade boy in our district, and we had donations of ties pour in, but we had this breakfast and mentorship conversation, and then every sixth grader got a tie, and they were taught how to tie the tie and got to practice it with these men in our community. And those same men are showing up at what we call dudes at the door twice a month. They come and just stand at the entrances of our middle school and high school, fist bump, high five, elbows. And it makes a difference when the way you're welcomed into a space and to know that people in the community are showing up for you.
Hmm.
Um, Next week, I'm really excited. We're going to have our inaugural Pearls for Girls. So we've had business partners and just individuals all over our community donating strands of pearls, not like real pearls, but just first introduction. And we have our DA for our county is coming in to talk about pearls of wisdom. And then we have 200 women in the community that are going to sit side by side with every sixth grade girl to give her a strand of pearls and to just share some pearls of wisdom with the young ladies in our community. So those kinds of things. Like we've gotten we launched Grands on the Go this year, which I'm so excited about. We're piloting at one campus, but we have grandmas that and grandpas that come in every Tuesday, and they're in our kindergarten through second grade classes, and they're an extra set of hands. Like sometimes you just need a Nana hug. Their badges are all, Nana, Gigi, Pop, Pop, whatever their grandparent name is. And it's just making a difference for kids to have another positive role model in their space from the community. So those are the things I feel really passionate about. And then we've also bringing in business partners to talk about how we expand our CTE programs. What are we doing to meet the workforce needs for this community as it grows? And then they've just been really, truly remarkable because as they see we want to do this program to help support kids to go straight into the jobs that you need filled, they're like, well, then how can we get them training on our equipment? Can we help you with that? Can we send some mentors over? So that kind of work has been really fun, exciting, and powerful.
Wow, that's a lot going on. And if I were to and I'm gonna probably do a poor job of this, but it seems like a big area within your district is the community just connection between your district and all the different parts of the community. Is that a fair synopsis or?
Yes, I think so. And we've we've brought community in to say, what can we do better? What do you see places are that we could be better serving kids? And I mean, some of those ideas, I mean, the dudes at the door, the boys to men, that grew out of having community members come in and share with us where they see gaps, or, we need more male role models stepping up in the lives of young men. What are some ways we can invite more men into this space to be able to do that? And it's been fun to get to do, and I'm so proud of our community for wrapping around our school district.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned, people don't talk about that enough, of like having men involved as well. And I know at like my daughter's school, I have three daughters, and they have what, a watchdog, and it sounds similar to like dudes.
Yeah.
Y'all may have watchdog too. It's but basically it's dads being active. But you see it with families too, like that grow up without their father around, and the impact that that has on the development of kids. And so that's great. And there's just so many other areas, I mean, you're celebrating women, just so much going on. Well, that's exciting. I haven't heard of that level of connection. You hear about business partnerships, which are awesome, but it just sounds like your community is really connected. And so, what's happening in the community overall? Is it growing, expanding, staying the same?
Yes, no, our community is growing. We have we're positioned along I-20, which is, I mean, major US highway, and then have some other intersecting major highways here. And so but we're a little far out of Dallas, we're about a 30, 40, about 30 miles as the crow flies, but you put some Dallas traffic in there, it's it's way longer than 30 minutes to get from here to Dallas. But I think the ability for people to work from home. I think the ability of people saying, maybe I want a little bit more space. I want to be out of the city. And then also just affordable housing is really leading to the growth of business and industry here. Our economic development team for the city has done a great job of building out opportunities for workforce here. And we've got about 20,000 lots that are either in development or futures planned for this area. So yeah, it's growth for the city, for the district. Our county kind of fluctuates by percentage as one of the top counties in the nation for population growth. So just how we are managing that is another large portion of how my time goes.
Awesome, awesome. And if I remember, are you guys east of Dallas? East of Dallas? Towards
Yeah,
Forney?
yeah, we're the next
Forney?
town over. So you
Uh,
got
Okay.
Sunnyvale, Forney, and then Terrell.
There,
So
there we go. My sister lives in. I thought I maybe had been close to your district before. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
awesome. Well, curious. So, what's on the horizon for the district? You have a lot of great things happening right now. You have this, powerful community that's expanding, and what's on the horizons? I mean, what if you already look a year to 5 years out? What do you think the district will look like at that point?
Well, this is our second year of a 4-day instructional week. And so that is something that has helped us, being a little bit further out of the Metroplex, be able to recruit some really incredible educators to our district because of that 4-day work week. Another thing that we put in place this year is yonder pouches at our secondary schools. And so really putting the cell phone and the distraction of that away. We've done a lot of study around the anxious generation, Jonathan Haidt's book, and um, it's been remarkable. So I say those two things, that I think where we go from here, we're seeing just year over year increased academic gains from our students. And I think that really the quality of educator that we have and our ability to silence some of the distraction at our secondary schools is making an impact. With the growth of population, we're going to see the growth of some more career and technology programming that we're excited to be bringing. And, I am the eternal optimist. And so I just am looking forward to where we go is we just keep doing good things for kids. That's what our charge is, to keep doing great things for the kids of our community.
Awesome, and it sounds like you're the leader to do it. So, you know, it's funny when you meet different people, everybody has a different energy and excitement about them. And I think your charisma and everything happening at your district, I imagine you are going to be doing some great things over the next couple of
Oh,
years.
thank you. I'm really excited. I just see how, you know, where we have been, where we're going, and I'm so grateful to get to be here to do this work with these people in this place for these children in this community.
Awesome. Well, one final question here before we close out. I know we're running short on time. Um, if you were to invite if we were to have another superintendent that has made an impact in your life, who, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Dr. Bobby Burns, like I don't even have to think about it. He was the superintendent that hired me to be a high school principal and gave me that opportunity. And it was at a school that had a lot of challenges. And he told me, uh, we're going to have another high school that doesn't maybe have the same kind of challenges that this school does, in a couple of years. What's your what do you think? And I'm like, I want to be in the toughest place where the hardest work is, because at some point I want to be sitting in your seat, and I think having the most challenge is what's going to prepare me for that. And then after a while serving there, he gave me the opportunity to be his assistant or associate superintendent, and just poured into me. I learned so much about leadership, and just the superintendency from him. I will be forever grateful.
That's awesome. Amazing. Well, we will have to reach out to him and get him on the podcast,
Yeah,
since
he's
he's made
wonderful. He's retired now, but he was a gift to me and many, many other educators in his long career. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And before we close out, anything else you'd like to share with any of our listeners that before we close out?
No, just be encouraged and keep doing great things for kids.
Yep. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, right? And with as many episodes as we've had, 80 plus episodes on the podcast, and just so many great superintendents. There's just such a powerful impact being made in Texas and Oklahoma. We're interviewing some superintendents in Oklahoma as well. And who knows, maybe we'll expand further one day, but we know the superintendents in Texas and Oklahoma are doing amazing things. So thank you, Dr. Warnock, for being on the podcast today.
Thanks, Gary. Have a great week.
You too. Okay. Well, before we close out, we do want to give one final shout out. I can't talk today. One final shout out to our sponsor, Ideal Impact. Ideal Impact's giving away hundreds of millions of dollars to public education. So if your district needs unrestricted funds for teacher salaries or whatever you may need, reach out to Ideal Impact. And for those that have been tuning in, stay tuned for future episodes of the Educational Leadership Podcast.